The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Welcome to another edition of Table Topics. I guess we're here. Got some decorations going on here that you requested.
No. I didn't request it, but thanks, Steve, for the beautiful Christmas tree here. But yes, we're back for another edition of the
Table
Topics, and it's Wednesday nights. If you're watching on your TV and it's a Wednesday, you're watching a new show. If it's not a Wednesday, it's because you're watching a repeat show. Please come back, enjoy this one, and come back next week for a new show of the Table Topics. I probably have a couple of announcements to do before we start a conversation, if you allow me.
Yeah.
The first one is to say that yesterday made 5 years of passing of Cathy Assad.
Oh.
If you are from Fall River, you know who Cathy Assad was and how much did she give to her neighborhood and to her city. So I just want to, I did a show 5 years ago. I don't know how I could do the show without sharing it here, because I was very connected to Cathy, and Cathy was not just a teacher to me on this neighborhood stuff, but she was a great person, and you will, if you knew her, I know you enjoy her company. So I don't know if you had the pleasure to.
Yeah, no, I remember her from high school, to be honest with you. I was in high school, she was a teacher there. And, you know, where her class was, that was where my locker was. And I can't remember what year. I'm thinking it's probably junior year. And I was a pretty quiet kid in school. And she always made it a point when I was at my locker to ask me how I was, how my day was going. So I never had her as a teacher, but every time I was at my locker, she made a point to say hi to me, ask how my day was going. So that stays with me forever. You know what I mean? Something like stays with you. So that's how I know. And then with the neighborhood stuff, but I remember her when I was probably 16 or 17 at Durfee High School. So
Cathy had a special touch with people. She touched a lot of people that she came to, you know, in contact with for all different reasons. And this neighborhood thing started with me through her. Flint Pride Days was my first event that I didn't even speak English back then, but she had a way to contact with me for us to be in contact. Even though I didn't speak English, you know, I mean, it was really, really bad. So, but I played a clown for her, for her event that she was
hosting there or whatever.
Yes, the Flint Pride Days. She used to get the Quikashon School there yard and had the magic there and had like something for the kids. And that's what it was my first event that I share with her. But I met her because I was volunteering for Steve's Pet Center. It was a pet store on Pleasant Street, right next door to the bank, Bay Coast Bank. Used to be a big window there, and it's a pet store there. And she used to stop there every day to feed the animals. And that's what I met her there. But after that, it's history. I will be posting that show that I did 5 years ago in memory of her. And so this way, if you just want to go through the show again and watch it again, I explained a lot of stuff and how much we appreciate her.
Yep, she definitely made her mark, for sure.
Yes, yes, for sure. And I'm happy that we rededicate the park to her again.
Yep.
And now it's all renovated, and a lot of kids can spend some time there.
Excellent.
And she's one, every time that I go to Notre Dame, she's a stop for me all the time. Doesn't matter how many times I go there, I cannot go by her without, visiting her.
Yeah.
Another thing that I want to announce is that we are bringing back the show,
Yep.
the Christmas
Christmas
show
show.
this year. It's going to be the 18th. I'm going to ask Harry Ghost. That's the poster that's been hitting the streets tomorrow.
Cool.
And the schools will have the tickets. So participating on the shows, and all our shows are done by kids, will be the Edmund Talbot Middle, Mary Fonseca, Samuel Watson, Espiritu Santo, the great right now it's the Recreation, Fall River Recreation, and we have the Theater Rats.
Okay.
Theater Rats, it's a group of teenagers that do theater, and they are located right on Pleasant Street now, where it used to be the Portuguese Bank.
Okay.
Don Lambert purchased the building, and he has programs for kids going on there on that building.
Good.
And these kids, I heard they perform very good, and they perform a lot of Disney shows.
Okay.
So they want to be part of the show too. And all this gets for those kids to enjoy being on stage.
Yeah.
I have a big support of adults behind the curtains.
Yeah. That's good.
So and I have people that I go back every year, and I in charge. They pretty much know what to do, and they, as soon as I call them, and I have like most of those people, I've been talking to them for 2 years.
Yeah.
But I text them, I'm going to do the show again. Can you help me?
Yeah.
Oh, sure, I'll be there. So.
Cool.
So we have as stage director my friend Patrick Harrison, stage musical director Eric Andret, stage props coordinator Brian Vieira, stage performers coordinator Jeff Gruden. So those are the people ahead of all those different departments.
Excellent.
And they have volunteers under them that organize everything behind.
Yeah, cool.
Besides that, we will be inviting, like the years previous, city councils, neighborhood groups, people, familiar faces on the community that want to stop by the show and introduce a number. I think that we have a lot of success with that. Number one, people sitting and watching would not being seeing the same face over and over on the stage. They see different faces every 2 minutes. You don't have to be stuck there through the entire show. You can come in. I have another event to go. Okay, that's the next number is going to go on stage. You get the cards. You introduce them, and you're good to go again. And work for both ways. This way, you don't have to be there to the entire show if you have other plans for that day. And people sitting on the audience watching the show don't have to have the same person over and over and over on the stage. So it's been working good.
Cool.
I'm glad that I was able to bring the show back. And again, I want to thank the two community television, the government TV, and the RFC over here from media, from BCC, Michelle and Steve. They want to be pretty busy too this Christmas, because between the parades, they're going to do the parades.
That's right.
They have an event. They're going to go live from the Our Lady of Light Band.
Okay.
Saturday. They have the center here live from North Pole.
Yeah.
They, they have our show, so they're going to be pretty busy over here too. But it's good. It's once a year, and
No, it's good.
let's enjoy Christmas.
Yeah.
And
No, that's good.
with a lot of kids. That's
Excellent.
what brings us.
Yeah, and it gives them
The
experience
magic,
as well too.
the magic
So, yeah.
of that's what
Christmas,
makes
right?
it of Christmas. It's kids, and
Yeah.
that's what the kids make adults believe in Santa.
Yeah. You
Because
probably-
I always say this: doesn't matter how old you are, you still have a little bit of you that believes in Santa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably our Santa it's different from the Santa,
Yeah.
of the kids, but we have our Santas too, and we have a little bit of that belief on us.
Absolutely.
With that done,
Busy.
busy, wow, busy, and I'm not talking about anything else. The two buses going to New York 2 weeks from today, and the deposits. I was telling Michelle, it's the airlines calling me the deposits, deposits for Las Vegas, deposits for Orlando, deposits for the cruise, deposits for here, deposits for there.
Jeez.
But I have a good, I'm having a good group of people going again.
Yep. Good. Good.
And they know the process already. They know when they book, they put in deposits, and that's the money that I use to,
Yeah, to book
to book the planes and,
Yep.
and put deposits on and everything. So and they pretty good on due dates and everything,
Getting it
because
to
it is a lot of responsibility. It is a lot of work
Yep.
to book all these.
Absolutely.
And then you have families of 2, then you have families of 5,
Yep.
that you always try the cheapest way. You're going to split the group into rooms. It's cheaper than have them all in one room. You know what I'm saying? So and you don't, and with this in August, it's even worse, because we're going to be using hotels,
Yeah.
and we're going to be using the ship.
Yeah.
So it's 2 different deals.
Yeah, no, I from the 2 trips I've been on with you to the Azores, I mean, it's a lot of work.
It
You know what I
is.
mean? And
It is.
I think people appreciate it, but I don't think sometimes people realize how much work it is.
Yes, yes.
And you know what I mean? We just get in there, we get on a bus, we go, but there was a lot of back things behind the curtain or
Coordination,
whatever
yes.
before we got there to enjoy that. So
But I'm
that's
happy
a great
that
service.
people that go
Yeah.
enjoy themselves, they don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about this. You forgot about this, or you forgot about
Yeah,
that.
no, it's-
Everything is on point. Everything is there. I make sure that people have a good time at the same time. Have a good time. Don't have to worry about anything. And usually that's. And my last experience was just now, France, Italy. It was a big thing, and everybody enjoyed themselves. Everybody had a great time. Most of them coming back again.
Yeah.
I have people that just came back from me with me. They're going Las Vegas in February. They already booked for Azores, and they already booked for the cruise. So thank God they can travel.
Yeah. No, it's if you're able to do it, it's good.
Yeah, I mean,
it is good.
some trips they come by themselves. Some trips they want to bring the kids and the grandkids, and you know what I'm saying. So, but it's been good. It's been,
And the you know what I mean, the prices, if anybody looks to travel, I had told you that I wanted to try to go to London, and then you can take the train over the Eurostar to Paris, and the hotels are $500 a night
Yes.
in London. I'm like, are you kidding
Yep.
me? $500 a night? So yeah, it's that's the good thing about getting it all together.
Yes,
You know.
and like the example of Las Vegas is you always have, you want to be on the strip or you want to be outside the strip.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you're on the strip, you don't need to rent a car, you don't need transfers, you don't need nothing. You just come out of your hotel.
Yep.
To start, every hotel has a casino.
Yeah.
But if you want to come into the strip, you just walk. You don't need the taxi. You don't need anything. And we're going to be at the Excalibur. Excalibur, by what I've been searched, is between the MGM
Yep.
and the Paris. So it's going to be right. They say it's,
Excalibur. I thought, is that near the Luxor? I thought Excalibur was near the Luxor in New York, New York. It's toward the end of the strip. Toward
yes,
the airport.
toward the end.
Yeah.
Toward the
So,
end,
but
yeah.
it's still, it's
Yeah.
further. I've stayed at the Luxor, so it was like the Luxor and then Excalibur. and then New York. And you're right, MGM is across the street from there. Yeah.
So
no, that's a good location.
It's a good location, and I got it probably by the same price that I could stay off the strip.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a matter of shopping around, make sure you have a good hotel. And when I look for hotels all the time, I never look for the cheapest.
Yeah.
But I don't want expensive.
Yeah.
I prefer to be in the middle. Yeah. And over there, you always have, a good hotel. That you can appreciate.
Most of them on the Strip. I've been to the it's called the Stratosphere when it was brand new, and then I've been to the Luxor. And that's new. I mean, to be honest with you, this is just my experience. The hotels are nice. The rooms are the rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, you know what I mean? They're not
just like
a room anywhere, unless you're going and getting like a presidential suite. The rooms are the rooms. You know what I mean? They're nice, they're fine, you know.
So it's same thing when you're shopping like on the ship.
Yeah.
I have this group of 5 people.
Yep.
So now, they want to stay all together. I said, okay, I understand you want to stay all together, but I can get you all on the same ship, using the same restaurants, using the same thing.
Yep.
From $200 a person to $500 a person. What are you asking me? It's going to cost $500 a person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. I can put the 2 adults the next room, and put 3 on the following room, on the other room next to it, and you're going to be paying half of that. What's going to cost you just for the room on the ship?
Yeah.
You can pay the entire trip.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. It's all about the rooms.
And shop around.
Yeah.
And usually I like inside.
Yeah.
I had opportunity to stay out, but I like inside because I don't know if you like me, I need to sleep on the dark. I cannot have light. I need to sleep on the dark. And I'm the kind of a person, if I feel that I don't want to sleep, I don't go to bed. Because then that's going to be asking for trouble. That's going to be asking me for me to be rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. Instead of falling asleep in half an hour, it will take me 3 hours to fall asleep. So I go to bed when I want to sleep. Even at the house, it's the same thing. Sometimes I stay watching TV until 1 o'clock. If I don't feel like I want to sleep, I don't go to bed. I go to bed when I'm done. I shut the lights, that's it. I don't remember anything else. So that's why I like the interior. It's not just cheaper for you, but you have the same thing that any other rooms have in service. And when you're on a restaurant getting your food, they don't want to know if you have a window on your room or not. You got the same service.
Exactly. Yeah.
When you go to a show, they don't want to know if you have a window on your room or not. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying it's cheaper. I enjoy, and I use the room. It's to sleep. To sleep when I want to change clothes. That's it. That's the only time I go to my room.
I mean, because I've only been on one cruise, and I was inside. It was an inside. You know, but it's tiny.
Did you in with us? No.
No. I went. I went like maybe 20 years ago to the.
It's time for another one.
Yeah. And
Allison, it's time for another one.
But you're right. You're not going to really be in the room. We weren't in the room that much because, you know, a ship's a ship, right? So unless you're paying a lot more money, you go into the shower, when you bend over, half your body's outside of the freaking shower. You know what I mean? That's when I went in there the first time. I'm like, whoa, all right. So, but you're right. I wasn't in there because you're out after you eat dinner, you go to one of the shows. Then if you want, we would walk around. Or we'd go up. They had clubs wherever. You go up there, dance, whatever. So you're probably not back in your room till like 1 or 2 in the morning. So
and 7 o'clock you are.
Yeah, you're getting up to go on a trip.
Because you have excursions and everything. 7 o'clock you up. You know, if you want to have breakfast before you get out of the ship, you know, it's so that's why I said enjoy the ship. You don't have to enjoy the room you're going to sleep. You're going to be sleeping anyway.
No, you're right.
But they're comfortable. They're very comfortable, you know, and they have everything that you need. They have a TV, they have a shower, they have everything that you need. It's just a smaller room and it has no windows.
And you know, it's funny. This is going to sound stupid now, but you know, you would see a lot of the cruise ships. This just happened. I guess somebody fell off a cruise ship in the Caribbean. He was treading water for like 22 hours. So that might be another benefit that, like, you know what I mean?
You
You
don't
don't
have
get so
windows to
drunk that
enjoy.
you fall off the deck or the patio or whatever, you know?
Yeah. So,
But I hear you.
yeah, it's a lot cheaper, and it's a good. You can enjoy your trip, and you have. And don't forget the casino. You have the casino too.
Yeah, the
You have
casino.
the casino too.
Yeah.
So and the bars, they have little restaurants. Like if you want a snack before bed, so if you want a slice of pizza, if you have a sandwich, or a fruit, or whatever, they have it right where the pools are.
Yep.
Those are open all night.
Yeah.
Those are open all night. So if we go to the show, we go to the casino, whatever, and I'm looking at the time, I say it's 11 o'clock, so let's have a snack before we go to bed. So that's exactly what we, and then what happened is, I'm sitting in there, I see somebody else coming, sit on our table. Now we start talking, and we talk for an hour before we go, before we go, you know, and then we go up to our rooms and sleep, and that's it. But yes, so I still have couple cabins for August, for our trip in August. I still have couple rooms for Santo Cristo. And when I say couple rooms, because I booked 16 rooms. It's not that I booked 5 rooms. I booked 16 rooms, but I still have couple rooms open for the Santo Cristo. Las Vegas, I still have like 5 rooms open. And for the cruise, which is a combination of 2 vacations, because we go to Orlando, we go to Universal Studio and Magic Kingdom, and then we go to the cruise with the stop at Coco Cay. So it's Bahamas and perfect day at Coco Cay. So it's 2 vacations on one. I still have a couple of rooms open there too, but still early. It's for August, so it's normal that now when this season it's gone, you know, Christmas and then the people start thinking, oh, we still have the money from the income taxes, so that's where we're going to go on vacation.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah,
so that what happens a lot too. People put deposits on and wait for some money, and then they put a lot of money from that money into vacation time.
Cool.
Okay, so with that done, another thing that I want to go over was a very interesting neighborhood meeting that you had on your neighborhood.
Yep.
I was glad that I could make it.
Yeah, thank you for attending.
10 out of 15 questions was mine.
Yeah, no, we had a few. I think he was answering questions before people got there. A few people did. But yeah, I mean, I thought what was really kind of funny is, you know, do you have any other questions?
Yes.
And I said, I don't know why you did that. That's not a good idea.
Any city questions?
Yeah, any
that's
city
what he
questions.
said.
Yeah,
any city
that's
questions.
probably not a good idea, but he was good about it.
I look at Andrew, the city council, and I say, oh my God, he's opening a can of worms now. You know, I don't want to, that's another 2-hour meeting or more. So this is not a city council meeting here, you know. But I think it clarified a lot of stuff that was just talk, street talk, show talk. Because I really thought that, and like I told them, I really thought that was a decision made out of somebody at the desk that didn't know, you know, the job that needs to be done. And so, and I mean, you probably should say who was your guest, because we're talking about the people don't know.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we had in our neighborhood, and it's actually pertains also to Maplewood as well, because the ambulance that's housed at Niagara Candeas was being moved. But the funny part is with that is it's been at the Globe Station for probably over 2 months now, 3 months. So that was in the paper, and we had some folks that had some concern about it. So Helen actually set up a public safety meeting, and he discussed it. But I had a conversation before we even had that public safety meeting, and he explained it, and I said it's probably best to come to the meeting. So he did present, you know, a good presentation. I was very also impressed with the lady that was an EMS personnel person, and I've seen her around. Her dealing with different things with the drug issue that we have in Fall River, and she's the way she puts it, she's being honest. I mean, you can read people, and I could read her as, she's going to tell you if this is not how it is, it's not how it is. So, so I was really impressed. I was really impressed with her, and Seth was a straight shooter. I don't know how you feel, but I've told him this, that, I've seen him at the council meetings. He's going to tell it how it is. I mean, I'm not saying anybody's perfect, but we know in the past what's happened when you had a city administrator up there, like this week is this, and then next week the story's totally different.
Oh, she would change her mind even at the table.
Yeah.
She was saying something, then she gets a text message, and now she flips.
Yeah. And it was more than, I know who you're talking about, but it was more than that, person. It just seemed to, we had a bunch of folks, so.
Well, and I think that pretty much he clarified what is out there in the community, and the perception was that, this is going to take longer to respond.
Yeah.
Because they're moving these vehicles around and they take longer. Yeah. And for certain, they say that's actually not what happens. And one thing that made me realize that probably that's the reason is because a lot of the calls, the vehicles are not in the garage. Yeah. The vehicles are already on the streets responding another calls or finishing another call. Yeah. So that kind of puts a lot of those calls out of the way of the timing, because they're already out on the street doing something else. So, and I think for that part makes sense. The only thing that I told them was, I believe on the final goal of the separation and give them independent and give them a building for them to be by themselves. Yeah. The only thing I didn't agree was on the process, the way that it's being done, because if they fund it, I think they should had waited. I think they should have waited until they fund that building, and to separate, because move them from here to here, it's not going to make a change if they don't have the building. Yeah. So I will probably leave it here, look for that building, and make one change. Yeah. Because now it's going to be two changes. They moved them from here to here, and now when they find a building for them, they're going to change again. Yeah. So that's the only part that, I told them that I didn't agree.
Yeah, no, and I understand, because it was the only place it's being taken from. But what I did find interesting, I don't know if you remember this, is that they were talking about the areas that were the busiest, and ours was like one of the slowest. You know what I mean? Like there's not as much going on, and I think it was like Globe was, but it was like the north. No, it was the Flint station, the north end, then Globe.
The most calls comes from the Eastern Avenue.
Yeah, Eastern Avenue, Flint Station. Yeah,
yes.
I don't know. Is it called the Flint Station?
Yes, Flint Station.
Yeah, but yeah, it's on Eastern Avenue. I was surprised really about that. I would have thought it would have been Globe Street, because you got the whole south end down there. But so that kind of,
and that tells you the population. Yeah. That probably it's double. Yeah. From Niagara.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it kind of makes sense that
the more population you have, the more calls you're going to get.
You got it. But I mean, it kind of like, at least in my head, was that, well, if you had to take it from someone, you're taking it from the slowest one. I mean, you can't justify taking it from the Flint when they're the busiest station. You know what I mean? So it kind of, after they said that, that made a little bit of sense too.
Yes, because the calls, they don't get as many calls, so they kind of have to push it to an area that gets more calls.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Which makes more sense, because that vehicle, it's had more chances to get a call when they're in the station than actually when they're out on the street. Versus the Flint, that it's always getting calls because they're always on the street. Yeah. They're never on the station.
Yeah. No, and it's a bigger, you're right. The Flint's probably more compact, where Niagara goes all the way down to the Tiverton border. So once you hit a point on Stafford Road, it becomes mostly single-family houses there.
Exactly.
So there's it's not as big a population. So yeah, it made sense afterward.
So, but I'm glad that he came, that he was able to come and clarify a lot of stuff. Even that it's not gonna, in a way, it's gonna impact my neighborhood because that's gonna free another vehicle to serve the Flint. But the impacts